Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at how to find the maximum and minimum value in an array. So let's get started by copying our last lesson on how to parse a comma delimited string. I'm going to do copy and I'm going to put this in the same package. It's going to be under special topics, strings and arrays. I'll paste it there. And let's see, what should we name this with? Find min max value. Find minimum, maximum value in an array of integers. And here it is. That's the code I just copied. And this is from our last lesson. So I'm just going to remove everything here except for the scanner, because we're going to use the scanner again in this program. So here I have the scanner. I'm going to read in the user's input. And let's declare an integer. Name it len for length, where I'm going to ask the user to enter the length of the array, how many elements they would like to compare. So I'm going to prompt the user, how many entries would you like to compare? How many entries would you like to compare? And then I'm gonna have to read that into my length variable. So I'm reading in an integer. I have my scanner variable, scanner class dot next integer, which is right here. So I'm reading in an integer. I store that into my length variable. And then we're gonna have to ask the user to enter the data. So let's do another sys out here. Enter your entries below. Dot, dot, dot. And then I'm gonna have a for loop to read in all the entries. So you can do this in many ways. You can read them all in one line, or you can read them separately, each one, right? So I'm gonna read separately each time, and I'm gonna ask them for a new entry. So I'm gonna have a for loop for int I equal to 0 to I less than the length of the array. Did I declare the array yet? No, I haven't declared the array yet. So let me declare the array. I need an array of integer. What should we call it? A is fine. Equals to new integer, and that the length of the array is going to be the length that the user had entered up here. So we ask the user to enter the length, and we're building the array based on the length that the user entered. So now it's going to be up to the length of the array, a.length I plus plus. We're incrementing the array by 1 each time, incrementing the count by 1 each time. And for each iteration, we want to prompt the user again for them to enter the entry. So I'm gonna say entry I plus 1. The reason I do plus 1 is because my count starts with 0. My array starts with 0. So if I don't do plus 1, then it's gonna say entry 0, and the user is gonna feel a little strange. So I want to put plus 1 there to make it more familiar to users. And then I'm just gonna store that into my I element. So I'm reading the next integer. Right, so I'm looping through from 0 to the length that the user has entered. For each entry of the array, I'm gonna ask the user to enter the entry, and then I store it inside of my array. From here, I'm gonna have 2 new variables, integer max, which is my maximum value of the array. So I'm gonna declare it, I'm gonna initialize it as the min value. Integer.min value. And I'm gonna change this min value as I go through the array. So I have 2 variables. I have a max value and I have a min value. For the min value, I'm gonna initialize it as a max value. So this is the lowest possible value and this is the highest possible value. And then we're gonna change that with this for loop here. For integer I equals 0 through the length of the array, I less than the length of the array. I could have done the same thing here. Since the user is entering the length of the array, I did not have to use this. I can just use that variable length. And we're gonna do I++. If the element of the array AI is greater than max, then I'm gonna store max. I'm gonna replace max with the element AI. And if AI is less than min, I'm gonna replace min with the value of AI. So this is gonna give me the maximum value because I start out with max is the lowest value possible. So any value inside the array is gonna be greater than this value. So it's gonna be stored in the max variable. And then after that, whenever I find a value that is greater than my current maximum value, I'm gonna store it into the max variable. And vice versa. I do the same thing for the min. If anything is less than the min value, I'm gonna store it into the min variable. And finally, we just gotta print out the min and max variable. Max value is max, and here we're gonna do min value is min. Let's try and run it. How many entries would you like to compare? Let's say 5. Enter your entries below. Entry number 1, so let's say 8. Entry number 2 is 3, 12, 78, and 4. The maximum value is 78, which is right here. Your minimum value is 3, which is right here. That is the correct answer, because out of all these, 78 is the highest number and 3 is the lowest number. Okay everyone, that's how we find the maximum and minimum value in an array. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.